Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the series. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties, but we got it all sorted on out, and oh my goodness, what a last series we were just watching in the wings, everybody. I wish we could have brought you this action, but in the losers round 3, ATK Gaming, the number 3 seed going up against X18. It goes again all the way down to a map 5 round 11. And X18, they go home early. I think the most favorited seed in this entire tournament is gone in the losers round 3. Nobody expected it. And the side of ATK, they were down 5-2 in that search and destroy map 5.
Yeah, you're down 5-2, and you're able to come back. Honestly, it seemed like X18 was sitting comfortable for how far ahead they were. And then round 11, the whole room was quiet. And then all of a sudden, that last round ends. Round 11, everyone went crazy, and X18 went packing. I seen a few of them with their heads down even. And they were upset. They were definitely upset from that one. You know, they were the favorite coming in, and that's our 2nd seed versus the 3rd seed in the losers bracket. Yeah. Well, we have a match coming up right here. Let's get this lobby started. The players are in. Graf, who we watching here?
So we got the CEC Academy, also known as the Cerberus eSports, going up against the NM boys. I believe CEC, they lost to, I think it was ATK Gaming, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, they lost to the Baby Beavers in the winners round 1 in a 3-1 fashion. And then for the side of NM, they actually lost to Team Performance in a map 5. I think it went to around round 9. They lost in a 6-3. So both of these two teams, they've been waiting to play all day, but we're getting this first look at these young guns in CEC. They're all under 18 players. I think all of them are actually under 17 even. So I think they're 16 and 15. There's a lot to be desired from these guys, but the NM boys, they came to play. You're probably one of the teams you are looking for where they could be that dark horse just with how calm they seem to be this entire weekend.
Yeah, I'm liking the energy from the team. Nexi definitely brings a lot of that energy. Some clips of him going pretty crazy. He got that ego behind him, but he got the skills to back it up. This guy's 16, just absolutely slaying, a lot of career ahead of him. And he's already out here at the LAN. And I think he said he did another LAN beforehand.
Yep.
This guy already got the skills going against some pretty crazy teams this series here. So, we are in the losers bracket, right? So
losers round 3.
And whoever wins this goes against the Backpackers, which is a pretty serious team. So a lot of uphill battles for a lot of these players. They gotta win this. They gotta win the next, win another one just to make it up to the winners. But they could do it. They could do it. But the NM boys, they're looking hot.
Yeah, especially, I mean, they've had so many close series, but so have CEC. It's really going to be, I think, the respawns. That's been CEC's kryptonite. I think they've actually taken almost all their search and destroys. I think they've maybe lost one map, but they've been so close on every single respawn. It's frustrating for them, right? And that could maybe get to these young players' heads. And one guy I'm kind of looking at where he kind of fell off a little bit yesterday was Prada. I think in the control, he ended up finishing with 12 kills in 5 rounds, and you just simply can't have that happen. And then on the other side, Dahmers, his AR, he knew exactly how they wanted to play. This team, you could tell with their chemistry and their teamwork, they know how they want to maneuver a map.
Yeah, we've seen Electric putting down some great stats, some nice doubles, triples coming from his side. So I'm definitely going to keep my eye out for Electric. And I was told the MC stands for Minecraft, Grab.
Oh, God. No, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
So, a man that's good at Minecraft is a man for me. So Electric, we're going to keep our eyes out on you. Great energy from all these players, the NM boys. Very, very serious competitors out there. A lot of skills really across the board for everyone. This is going to be a good match for sure, and it's going to lead into another good one against the Backpackers. So let's see who's going to face against them right here, right now.
On the Mercado hardpoint, nonetheless, can both of these teams just be able to get that edge here early on? I think if CEC, it's going to be decided in this map 1 right now. I don't care. Okay. I'm going to put out my prediction. Whoever takes this map 1 is going to take this series. If this Academy roster is able to pull out finally a hard point, it will mean all that confidence in the world. You have Nexi, Prada, Flondo, and Blur going up against Electric, Stratus, Maddie, and Dahmers. And oh, I think it was just an unfortunate team knife. Oh no! And then Electric, he gets a team kill, so 2 team kills right off the bat. I don't know what the NM boys are doing, but they must be already shaking in their boots from these players in high school.
Yeah, you run with the knife out, and I guess he clicked the wrong button. I don't know. And I think that grenade was on a teammate, so, it kills you if you hurt a teammate too early. So I don't know what just happened there, but here, NM Boys is getting some score for their side. We see Maddie up in the next hill, trying to shake off CEC Academy. But I think Nexi wants this P1 away from Stratus. Nice fight here. Here we go. Gonna take the lead. Just a little bit of scrap as they go into this next hill. And Body's going crazy. Some fists coming out against Prada. He might take that personally.
Oh, goodness. And that was a tough one. And I kind of want to point out an unsung hero, I think, for this Academy roster has been Flondo. He has been absolutely stellar on the AR. I think last season he was running a submachine gun, kind of more known as a flex. But when you have Blur and you have Prada in that position, along with kind of Nexi being that new flex, he has been just a staple in his team, making sure he gets that rotations and locking down a lot of those lanes on the other side. That's Dahmers, kind of just more of an advanced, maybe a little bit slower version of him, but either way, their comms are always clean.
Yeah, look at this. NM Boys, that's 25 seconds. I wouldn't even call that scraps. That's just straight money that they're getting. Off to the next point. Stratus tried to get in there, and it's looking like Maddie is going to try and get something done. Maybe a little more fisting going on, a little punching around. No, he's going to get taken out. He's that close quarter kind of player. I would have liked to seen him in the building. Take a little more fights inside there. But, playing outside with that SMG, just not playing to its strong, so he's going to get taken out. CEC Academy getting a lot of kills here, pushing these NM boys out.
And casting this team online kind of been a difficulty holding hills. They've had a lot of the rotations, but it's a matter of staying home. And Blur's been kind of that player that sometimes goes rogue. He has such an upside, being only just turning 16. He's an absolute slayer on the map, but sometimes he gets a little, too much red dot chasing for my liking. He kind of leaves some of his teammates out to dry, but when you have Nexi in the point, 5 kills in a row, and you were highlighting it earlier, he has some clips on Twitter that have been going around. This guy is fired up, and we could hear it in the background.
Yeah, Nexi is only at the beginning of his career. He has a lot more ahead of him. And, plays like that is exactly what you want to show your either current team you're bringing with you or your next one trying to sign you on. Minute on the hill, 7 and 5, and kind of match that with Electric sitting at a minute on the hill, 6 and 5. Pretty evenly sized up teams. The score pretty even here with NM Boys on a slight lead as everyone just scatters to rotate, but Prada is already there ready, getting some score for his team, but no, 2 NM Boys is going to push that in as it looks like they might have this next point.
And that was a solid setup for the side of CEC. Unfortunately, I think that first player in Flondo got caught out, and I think the next was Prada. Maybe gets taken down from long range, but Maddie doubling them up. Stratus finds the third, and what a great break on that Barber Hill. They clearly had their appointment first, so they're going to get that haircut. Flondo, though, on the rotation, along with his teammate Prada. They are getting those trends, but I like the way both of these two teams are just going around, making sure nobody's really getting untraded. Yeah, a few doubles here and there, but this is sound Call of Duty that you like to see. It's just straight up who has the better holds, who has those better breaks.
Yeah, looking at this next hill, again, NM Boys picking up a lot of scrap in CEC Academy. They're not going for it like after 20 seconds. They're very early rotators. No one really sticking behind. Dahmer's the only one from NM Boys.
No.
Now looking like it might have played to their favor, but the trades are going back and forth in CEC Academy, looking like they're ahead. But no, Maddie looking for just a double. The trades are just on top of each other, but the spawns are in CEC Academy's favor. There we go. Maddie's going to get taken out, but NM Boys was able to push them back into the corner, get on the hill. There they are, slayed out. Now 20 seconds left. CEC, you know that they're not going for it for how early they're rotating.
The play by Maddie right there, justifying those 2 kills, and then basically play his life in that backside corner on the on the end of Warehouse, he basically made them have to search, get off that point, and allowed his teammates to come on in and get the rest of that time. And it's showing in the stat line. This is what has been the problem for CEC time and time again. They just have not been able to get setups when they should. It's so easy to, you know, sometimes lose sight of what your goal is, and maybe they're pushing out too far, but these guys, like I said, such a young talent. Blur trying to get the third. Electric, he will find that kill. Prada, he breaks on in, and maybe this is the chance for the side of CEC to gain back some of those points.
Yeah, we're coming into 30 seconds, and we already know CEC loves to rotate out and give up free points. So we'll see if that happens here. But Prada is the point man right now, trying to hold this one off. Lots of kills coming through. Flondo able to get some kills now. 20 seconds. We got 2 players already rotated out. Flondo rotating out back. It's off to the RV. Maddie getting a kill. Electric getting a kill now. Trying to wipe this one clean. NM boys are piling into RV. It is just Flondo with the defense trying to get through it, but Maddie gets an amazing shot off as this point is going to come in hot. And they also got scrap from that last one. And I feel like this scrap is really what's adding up, because they should really be at an even point setting if CEC was fighting for that scrap.
Yeah, it's just so difficult to try to be able to get those rotations and the scrap at the same time. But oh, a team kill does come on in here at that P7. And it looks like Flondo, that's what he just wants to do, is contest it. But just from what has been happening and seeing this kill feed being relatively easy, you wouldn't think that there's this far of a margin between the two teams. And that shows how good the NM boys are. They're actually getting outslayed by, I believe, 1 or 2 kills. Unattested to those last ones. But Nexi, when he finds doubles, tries to snap on a third. Not quite there. But CEC, it's not about this lane. It's about getting those crucial kills and then being able to capitalize when you get them.
Yeah, and I love that you brought that up. You know, looking at the side of the kills, CEC's definitely got a lot of slaying power, a lot of doubles coming in. You know, Nexi's getting doubles and triples, but he's still 12 and 16 somehow. But look at that, 1 minute, 19 seconds on the hill for him. So good on that. And equaled out on the other side with Electric MC sitting at a 128. You know, even point line across both teams, but Blur. Not much on the hill, so he's clearly the guy trying to get out there, get some kills, but he's not cleaning them off the hill. 200 already on the side for the NM boys. And CEC, thankfully, on this first hill, trying to get back into this, but they need a full 60 just to tie it.
Electric, that's a massive double, and I want to point out how key that kill from Dahmers was right there. He was having such a slow start to this game. I think he was sitting at like 3 and 12 at the you know, first 3-4 hills. Unfortunately, the rest of his teammates do fall, and this is going to be a full setup here for the Academy squad, and this is the hill that we keep harping on. They need to be able to hold this. It's the Cantina bottom side. You need to be able to lock down a full 60 as you find yourself down by 80 points. But this is truly the hill that will get you back into this game, and you need to hold it for every single second and win every single gunfight.
Yeah, Blur is kind of the man out in the open, clears out the tunnel, so now he's going to push out since everyone else is in that Cantina. Finds another one. Blur almost went for 3 there, but look at that. The Cantina is starting to fall. Electric is getting in there. Nexi gonna hold it off for another one, but gets taken down. Stratus answers it with a double of his own. It's looking all blue. NM boys at 228 to 160 CEC Academy. It's close.
And the one thing, Blur, he kind of did what we talked about. He left his teammates out to dry. And oh, Maddie is shooting everything, even maybe had his own teammates right there. But Blur, he went out for an extra challenge when he could have just laid behind that flower bed and allowed his teammate from top Cantina to watch over him, and he did. He went out for the challenge. Granted, he was tagged up and there was a nade nearby. I think he would have survived it. But sometimes all you need to do is sit down, right? You see these players, they are tweaking left and right, and sometimes the best thing you can do for your team is just stop, hold a corner, get ratty in this team. It just doesn't seem like they want to do that, but my God, I don't know what Maddie is doing. He's winning some ridiculous gunfights, and this break might be coming on in here early from the warehouse. It's all due to Flano. Can the unsung hero get it done? No, it's Electric and Stratus. They get that break. Electric with 2. These guys are getting the kills when it matters most.
Yeah, Blur was there to make a move, but isn't going to get it done. That is going to be it for them. It looks like it's going to end up 250 to 179, but he's going to run in for the chow. Oh, a nice double from Electric. wasn't too necessary for how far ahead they were, but I don't know if you can hear them in the background. They are a bunch of screaming monkeys out there. They're going crazy.
Hey, I love it. This is the energy we are looking for at LANs. Everybody showing their passion. It's incredible. I know everybody's in the chat be like, we can hear these guys in the background. You love it. But look at this. They outslayed by 8 kills, and they still lost by almost 100 points. And this was everything that you didn't want to see from CEC. They were rotating so early, but when they would get into a hill setup, it was literally they were getting broken at 45 seconds every single time. And maybe that's something with their setups. Maybe they need a coaching change. A player needs to realize when to back down. Maybe they need to go close-knit. But it just kind of felt like they would get those initial kills and either stay in the hill and not push out the map, or they were afraid that somehow the spawns were going to get flipped. But it proves that the side of the NM boys, they're a seasoned team, and they know when to get those kills and when it matters.
Yeah, NM boys definitely showed out in that one. And CEC, Nexi, for one in particular, was really showing out. Had a 5 feet in there, was able to streak it up, put down a lot of great kills, a lot of good positioning, a lot of hill captures, a lot of hill defends. But they were all just kind of falling short. And I think it kind of fell down to that early rotation, just a bit too early. It was 20, 25 seconds. They're just clearing out of the hill, and it came all the way down to the end where they just, it came down to the score. They just weren't as close as they should have been. The slaying power is pretty equal across both teams, so I think that's why the CEC is more of an S&D team, because they're going to have that kill power behind them to get some rounds.
Yeah, just using the pure gunny, taking those challenges in the 1v1, but the only thing coming into this search and destroy is when you are going out. They clearly, I think, have, I hate to say this, a better submachine gun duo the way that Maddie and Electric. Yes, they were getting outslayed, but it's the crucial kills, man. It matters. You could tell they would get the double, and then bam, it was all 4 dead. They secured that hill, and they had a better setup. It just felt like they were maybe a little bit more well-oiled and well-versed at realizing when to push. But I think talent-wise, and as far as the gunny, you got to give it to these young guns. They're talented. It's just a matter of being able to slow down their hills. They are maybe more of a breaking team than they are a holding team, and that's something you have to fix in the future.
Yeah, and going into this S&D, everything pretty much changes up. CEC only able to get 179 out of there. I feel like they could have at least been a 200-plus team. But, S&D, completely different animal on the map. I believe we're at a silo. Again, we're seeing a lot of silo S&D. So similar strats. From most teams, really, everyone push A, maybe rotate back towards B with maybe a sniper. We'll see how they come into it with it. But I've seen Electric really go crazy. Maddie certainly went crazy on that last one. And we can hear him screaming through the walls for just how nuts he's going. It seems like they're about to get into a fist fight after the match, but I'm sure that they're just fist bumping right afterwards. But it is a lot of serious heat of a competition going on, because, again, this is loser's bracket. The loser of this match, they're out of here. So the heat's on.
I like how you brought up they want to get into a fist fight. Unfortunately, I think that's considered abuse with these guys being 15, 16.
That's true.
So hopefully they don't do that. We don't want anybody to be throwing hands out there. But still, like you said, Maddie and Electric, just the way they were, vibing and rotating off of each other's plays. They were baiting and switching. That's exactly what you want to happen in Search and Destroy. That is something you could definitely capitalize on when you're on that A site. We've seen it. Every single team that has won the El Asilo takes over that A site. And it hasn't been relatively close. I don't think we've seen any close El Asilo maps. It's been a lot of Mercados, a lot of, I think, hotels that have kind of gone the distance. But this is just one of those maps where the side of CEC, they feel comfortable. And I think this is Blur's pick. I think he might have the kill record, at least from me casting. He had like 19 kills on this map one time, and they still only won at 6-4. So again, the fundamentals just might not be quite there for the Academy squad.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It looks like the players are loaded in. We could get this one started up. Blur, Flondo, Nexi, Parada. Those guys, I love that they're all jerseyed up out there. You know, a lot of these teams aren't jerseyed up, so that shows that they went that extra step. They are prepared. They have passion for their team as well. You know, showing out that, you know, they are a cohesive unit. They're there for each other, and they're there to get it done and work together. And I think this S&D, it's the strats, it's the teamwork. So it's interesting to see how that cohesive unit is going to get this one done, because I believe CEC did say that they were more of a search and destroy team. So let's see what they can get done.
And I think that just comes down to the fact they are very comfortable in their gunning and taking challenges, maybe being in a disadvantageous position to be able to, you know, somehow win those gunfights when you have, you know, a 40 to 60 disadvantage, right? And so I believe that confidence really oozes through them, and they're going to have to keep that going in the search and destroy. And with that, they're just going to bully out this A site. Maddie trying to work his way on in, but you can see the flank. It's slowly coming through. I believe that's going to be electric, and he does find the kill on the blur. But again, the trades are there. This team so close-knit, and Flano's sitting down. Does Domers have that information? He's still behind. Yes, he does, and he gets the wall bang. Great communication from the side of the NM boys. Electric, even though he went down, gave that, let his teammate know, saying, hey, he's behind that bar, toss a nade, get some wall bangs. But still, taking their time, wanting to get this A site as much information as they can. Stratus trying to get a little cheeky of an angle right there, not able to find it. As you can see the snake coming on through that A site. Prada,
they're the only ones in this building. Like, they should just put this bomb down. Why is it taking so long to plant this? Come on, Prada. Like, it's been a solid minute now. No one has been in this building. Stratus has been outside the map this whole time. Now the bomb goes down. Now they're ready for it. You see Stratus is going to check B. Hey, they're not over here. And Domers was already making some MAC progress. They're getting surrounded right now. You know, CEC wants to go for some trades possibly. For how they're set up, they have to get down there, but these are ARs trying to get into there. We already know Nexi's nuts, but great angle. Finds the trade, Stratus versus Prada. Prada has the cover. Stratus has to come towards him. There we go, catches the nade. Trying to push up, did not hit that nade. That is huge. Gonna wait on that door, catches the read. Wow, I mean, it was just kind of dumb luck that that's the direction he went, but hey, good read on him. CEC Academy on the board, 1-0.
And that he didn't back down. I would have maybe liked to see Prada, you know, take that one a little bit slower. He was kind of challenging out in the open. Still didn't necessarily have the greatest gunfight, but he tagged him up early. So great shots coming out of him. And maybe that's what you needed from one of these teams, right? One of these players to get behind. They all need to get hyped. It just, one player seems like they're lacking at certain moments in these series. But I thought Stratus, and I believe that was, I think Domers, who were trying to break on in, unfortunately not able to clutch up in that 2v2. But already the sniper comes out, and we only see the head, and I'm not sure if he actually got that information. I don't think he did, because nope, he just hops down on the backside. So, but Nexi, he runs right through. I think he has his dead silence pop. Will he be able to find any more? He gets that reset, tosses out the stun, gets the information, and great stuff. And here, this is the double chow. You like to see it. That's exactly why this team loves search and destroy. Their submachine gun, their duo, they work so well off of each other.
Yeah, and I love that Nexi did not wait for his teammate to die. He waited for the information, hopped out with him. He was already ahead on the gunfight, but take that 50-50 gunfight in your favor. And if your teammate comes out alive with the kill, you know, it's untraded kills. Look at this, 4v2. Stratus knows exactly what's going on. That is what you want to see from a sniper, right? No hit markers, just straight up bullying, corner them, and just hit your shot, pull the trigger immediately when you find him. Now 3v2, bomb is going down, NM boys not wasting any time with B. I love Maddie taking this position, takes a little information from Nexi, but Nexi is the man that you definitely don't want to be messing with. You see Nexi just peeks his shoulder, gets back behind cover, turns around, there we go, Maddie on Prada, now 2v1. Off to Maddie, pops Deddy and just kind of stands still.
I love this.
Bomb's getting defused.
Oh no, and Maddie, he's gonna get that call. Will he get the bomb in time? No, he won't! And his teammate gave him the call out. Maddie, that is it. I don't think Nexi even has enough time to find this kill, and what a clutch. Nexi put himself in. I think that was a bad position. Nexi should have been closer because he could not help him. And right there, it's the setups that you are struggling in. Oh my goodness, you can already hear after one round win, they are going off the rails. You love to see it, but a clutch from Maddie. I don't think that was as much as a clutch from him is more of a misstep from CEC.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Nexi could have been in there, get that done. Off to the next round, though. Here we are, Blur sitting at 0-2. It is only the third round, so he has a little bit of time to get something done. That bomb plant from Maddie came in huge, that one. And CEC just took way too much time on their first round to get that bomb down. Ended up working, but NM boys with a beautiful plant on that last one. Maybe Prada could get the bomb down here. It's tied 1-up both ways. And for map count, the NM boys is up 1-0. So CEC is on them to win this one.
And a great find from Nexi as he catches Stratus trying to run all the way back on that B site. Trying to rotate back, but Electric, he gets the kill onto Nexi as they were trying to maybe get that bomb down. Unfortunately, that will be the crucial kill you're looking for. Oh no! Maddie just killed MC! I think he thought he was an enemy. Oh,
big
and
rip.
again, maybe that's the break that CEC needed. Unfortunately, you don't need breaks. You just need to be consistent, and that's kind of what's on the fringe for them.
I'm not sure if he knows, but he's in the room with the bomb. He could not be in a better position. I love that he moved out of the way once they knew where he was at. They have to pick up this bomb. He's going to run right past him. But it looks like Maddie is going to reposition. Bomb's going down. I love that CEC is moving, getting some work done. Blur right off to the right. I think he had a little piece of him. Maybe not. He can push in here. If he wins this chow, that's going to be it. Oh, nope. CEC. They definitely needed that one. So good on them there. Getting that bomb down, defending it. Good job there.
Yeah, Blur, I thought he was going to get caught out. I thought once that bomb was going to go down, he was going to tuck himself in that quarter. Maddie almost made the play. Flondo, though, once again, winning a big gunfight. And at close range with the AR, you don't see it very often, but put himself in a tiny bit of an off angle, not expecting it. Player being the snake in the ground, but it's going to be the side of the NM boys back on the offense. They've been kind of favoring this B site. Will that happen to go their way again? And no, they're going right back to this A site. It's going to be a 4v3, a great blind counter coming out for CEC as they have Flondo watching the middle and then two players in and around that B site.
Yeah, Maddie just needs to look through that door. There's a player right behind. Flondo sitting on 4 and 2. There we go. Blur is going to fall out in the open. The call should come in. Hey, it's going to be going B. Everyone needs to rotate out. And Nexi should be the closest one in there. Bomb is down. The NM boys are up a body. They just have everything going for them on this one.
Yeah, and it just comes to giving up that B site pretty free, right? You got taken down if you were Blur getting blooded. And unfortunately, when you're that lone player, you just can't have that happen. Get that information and just bail on out. Even if you have to go all the way to the back of the map, regroup with the rest of your teammates, but quickly it's into a 2v2, and they might be able to find these kills. Prada, he does get caught out, but he has to find it. Electric, great stun check, as I believe Flondo doesn't have anything left. Dahmers cleans up the last two.
Yeah, NM boys, great win there, going back and forth, exactly what you want to see from two evenly matched teams. I feel like the teams are playing slightly sloppy, but still coming out with some great strats that seem to be working on both sides. But definitely more of an attacking game, it seems. We'll see how it continues on this next round. Blur still sitting on that donut, 0-3. No bombs down for CEC, and bombs definitely heavy for NM boys.
Everything I've said about these players individually just seems like it's dead wrong. From the the online coming into LAN, these guys are playing a lot more different strategies. He brings out the sniper, and we love some good sniper gameplay. And hopefully he's able to find one. But look at number 8. That's Electric. He popped his dead silence. But Prada, he happened to get the read on him. Dahmers with that trade up top. And Prada, does he want to decide to challenge this AR? And he says, nah, no thank you. That is a gunfight I do not want to take, especially with the small nerf at the range with the Vaznev. But Stratus still sitting up top on the other side. And Maddie sitting down low on that A site, and Nexi, he had his dead silence, I think, popped right at that moment, catches him out. They're still going to work their way on in, and Maddie, can he catch out too? No, it's Flondo! Should not have won that one. Wow. Quickly, it's Dahmers. Does he have the ice in the veins?
Yeah, 2v1, bombs going down. This is exactly when you want to go and make this trade. Man, Dahmers could not get anything done before that goes down. He's going to pop into the store, get shot from behind, and that's going to be it for that one. CEC got 2 in a row there, so that is going to be huge for them. Now 3-2 against NM boys. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, Dahmers, I think he was maybe just a little bit too impatient. He was trying to bait some players out, didn't have enough knowledge of where Nexi was sitting in that corner. I don't know if he had any utilities left back in the pocket. You see a lot of these teams, right, early on, they toss those teammates and right off the bat, they don't have any nades. They had, gone through a lot of their stuns. It really comes down to when those bomb plants are either going down or when it's happened. And you're just trying to gain that little bit of information, that stun check. You're usually sometimes not throwing it out to take that gunfight, but just to get that knowledge of where one of those players is.
Yeah, it's all about knowledge, all about information. And for how slow this round is going right now, that's what they're playing for information, trying to see where everyone is going. And I do like that everyone's kind of going in a different spot. Look at Maddie with the bomb. No one's up near electric, so that's going to be some free map progression. Flondo, really the only one close, is going to catch electric. Maybe off of that kill, he'll rotate out. No, he's going to rotate in. So Maddie still free to try and rotate. I'd like to see him go in the building, which he is. Stratus is there. It's a 2v4. He has to work the corners in this building. There we go. Catches Nexi from behind just barely. Now 2v3, but Blur is way outside the map. So really it's a 2v2 inside this building.
I'm not sure if they're trying to isolate Blur. They should know he's still sitting in the back because he found that kill with the sniper, and he's kind of in an interesting position as Maddie's trying to get it. He finds the timing. Blur, again, a little impatient. He didn't need to do much. And Stratus finds the kill onto Flano. It's a 1v2. Now a 1v1, and the kill comes through. The 2v4 for the NM boys. Again, they are getting so hyped, but how is CEC throwing away some of these rounds?
Yeah, CEC definitely was ahead on that one. They definitely had that one set. Maddie coming back on that final trade at the end, but again, they're trading wins back and forth. We're tied 3-up, and again, recap, NM is up 1-0 in the series, so this is on CEC to win this one to tie it up.
Yeah, and they desperately need it. They are 5-1 up in First Bloods, and they only have 3 rounds, so the NM boys have done a great job when they don't have the numbers, and especially, in a 2v4 just like that. And they played it to perfection. They cleared out that solo player. Dahmers does end up getting that first kill, so a great one for him. Prada just playing for that information, and I love the spot that Maddie is in because a lot of people don't expect somebody to be sitting down right in front of that doorway.
Yeah, Dahmers with another kill now. That's 2 this round. Absolutely destroying. Nexi was untraded. He really just ran out right through the map, and just no one was there to help him out. He just ran right into the bait of NM boys. So Nexi was feeling a little too hot. Definitely should have held back with his team there. Flondo, I think, seen Stratus. There we go. Going to take him down and try and get this life set a little closer. But it looks like it might want to be going A, but no one's really going B if he can sneak out of this building.
And I think Flano was really hoping Dahmers decided to challenge, but did the smart thing, backed out as he opened up that door. And I think Prada has that information that they're both laying down on opposite sides of the door. And if Prada peeks this at the right time, he might catch a timing onto one of them as they're going to fly on in. But no, it's Electric Flano with the turn, but the trades are there. The NM boys, exactly what you wanted to see. That setup was looking good because they made sure once they got one, that other player could just pop out, strike like a viper, get that final kill.
Yeah, like you said, you liked Maddie laying there. Just wait for them to open the door. If you get the information, you could pop right out of the door just like he did. Get that very nice, easy kill off to the next round. It was in the final kill cam there, so they know that is a position. It's not just use your stuns, use your nades for hit markers. It's also use them to open doors, because then if they open or close it afterwards, you have that sound cue. You know that they are in that location. It's all information, really, when it comes down to S&D. I like Prada getting up there on the bunks, getting that defense set. Maddie with the bomb, trying to rotate out with Dahmers on the outside, but Blur is going to be the one to defend this side, and he gets taken down.
Yeah, and Stratus, I thought was maybe going to sneak on through Flondo. He just was giving it up at the wrong times, but he's going to decide to go back, regroup with his teammates. Flano goes out with a challenge, and electric. With 2 HP left, you can sneeze on him. That man's going to die, but it's a 2v4 this time for CEC. Can they do what the side of the NM boys did to them in just 3 rounds ago? But 1-7 for Blur, a very tough map for him. Still loving those Olive Garden breadsticks, man, and he's looking to get more of them.
Yeah, there we go. Stratus able to find one now. Prada in a 1v4. The bomb is going down, and he's nowhere near it. There's no way he's going to get this one unless he picks them apart. But look how NM Boys has this one set up. That's 2 in a row. That's going to be huge here for Prada. Not sure why he popped the Teddy there when he should have used it for the next round, because they're now down 2 rounds. That's the first time for this S&D that anyone gets ahead.
Yeah, I don't know why he popped that dead silence either. I was kind of giving you that shoulder stroke, like, why did he do that in a 1v4? I mean, this is probably one of the most difficult maps to clutch a 1v4. It's not, so close where you can tuck yourself into a corner for a long period of time, because there's such these long, corridors, these open fields that you have to work your way through. It simply would be almost impossible. So that dead silence kind of be put to waste, and maybe they're feeling like that they're shocked because they have thrown away some of these rounds, but a great stun check coming in early for the NM boys. And the spot we were talking about, Matty flies out, maybe a tad bit too aggressive, and Blur does get the kill onto Electric. So CEC, they stop the bleeding. They might be taking over this A site.
Yeah, now finally up a man. 3-2, exactly where they want to be. Another 3-5 here. NM Boys is on match point, so they have to win it here. Otherwise, NM Boys are going to go up 2-0 in this series, and that's not where you want to be, especially in this losers bracket, because if they lose this again, that is it. They're going home. Stratus sneaking around this map. That bomb is down. CEC is exactly where they want to be. Bombs down. They're up a man. Great positioning for defense. They have Dahmers and Stratus split up, but look at Dahmers able to catch Blur. Now a 2v2, but they are right where they need to be. Flando's still watching that flank. It just has to turn around and catch Stratus. It'll be interesting to see if he can get that done right here.
And they're a tad bit spread out, and oh no! Oh, and they weren't playing the trades. It is all over the NM boys. They straight disrespected, and Flando,
4 seconds
he didn't
left.
need to peek that as hard as he did. He just needed to basically snake himself up and down, and he gave them a free kill. You are up 3 to, what was it, 1 in round count, 3-2, and you drop the last 4 or 5. Oh goodness, this is difficult to see, but there's so much potential is there. They just haven't been able to make it work.
Yeah, very, very sad indeed. Now 2-0 for the NM boys. CEC, they were going back and forth. They had it. I think they kind of just ran out of strats. And it seemed like the one player was just kind of dropping off, not able to get that sniping done for them, and no one was really picking that up. And Nexi, he had the skills, he had the aggression, but he didn't have his team with him. Maybe he was just running his own strat that the team wasn't prepared for. He was just running out and dying and getting nothing done. Or he'd get out 1 kill, get traded, and no progression is made that way. So you have to run your strats, go for that bomb plant. And we've seen on that first round how slow they went for that bomb. And then the next round, NM boys went for the bomb, defended it, amazing. And they came back, was it a 2v4 that the NM boys was able to upset them with? And then it just ended all the way out to a 6-3. So NM boys, great job. Very loud over there. So good on them for keeping the energy up here at the LAN, because I'm feeling it.
You look at that map 1 and you're kind of seeing how CEC was running. One-dimensional, right? They didn't have anything else in their bag of tricks. It was just a one-trick pony. They weren't trying to run anything else. They were still just trying to slow play a majority of that time. And when they had that success is when they had a player running those flanks, have those dead silence routes, maybe, being shut down. But I don't think that was the case. There were still openings on that map. They didn't try anything towards B. And I think if you keep trying to hit one site over and over and over and it's not working, you have to stop, make those mid-game adjustments. And this is where you need your IGL to calm everybody down, right? And maybe those players from the side of the NM boys yelling at them, getting into their head. You have to have that mental fortitude to shake that off and not think about it.
Yeah, and for how young the CEC crew is, It's a lot of ego. It's a lot of swinging around who's the largest out there. So, and the CEC, they're definitely some experienced trash talkers, I'd call them. So, they hear that yelling, they hear that they're down, they see the score set in the game. It's all getting in their head. I'm sure that their blood is boiling, and it's just showing how they just slowly fall apart. Because that back and forth S&D, and then you get that 2v4 put on you, and then all of a sudden your blood keeps boiling. You have to calm it down. You need that coach in your back pocket being like, hey guys, it's all right, let's get it back together, run this strat. Whoever it is, I'll just pick on Nexi here, who ran out and just got nothing done and got killed for his team. It seemed like he ran his own strat. Got to pull everyone back. Use that skill to your advantage. Nexi's an amazing killer out there. He runs this SMG nuts. He has that energy, but it seems like the team isn't utilizing each other's strong suits and are all just falling apart. And even with that sniper, it seemed like they weren't using his strong suit. Watch Morph. We're all watching Morph. We know exactly how he locks down lines. Watch the CDL. You know how to utilize the sniper. It's not just, I'm going to use this so that I have a one-hit kill. You have to use it for your advantage, for the team, not just for you. But it looks like the players are ready. Graph, what map are we rolling into next here?
So we have the Al-Bagra Fortress, and this is a concern for me because the last time that the side of Cerberus played, this was CEC. They lost it in a 3-1, and I think the side of Prada dropped around 12 kills. And I want to point out something that you said was, hey, yeah, the blood is boiling. You got to keep the tensions low between it. And I want to point out to an interview that we had earlier, it was Aliu who said, talk to them, not at them. Right? You don't want to be building up the tension. You want to have that chemistry. You want to be like, hey, let's try to open something up. Don't be yelling at your teammate. Granted, some people, they do learn that way, but that sometimes with these young players, that's not what they need. They need to get that experience and maybe go back, look at the VOD and say, hey, we did this wrong. It wasn't you individually. So they got to take a step back. But like you said, their coach talking in the ear, calm them down, get it going. And in the Al-Bagra Fortress, it's going to be a little bit of a concern, though, for me, because this is such a defensive-heavy map, and the way that the side of NM boys play the search and destroy, it could be potentially a 3-0 or 3-1 again.
Yeah, I did call it before, NM boys, possibly the 3-0 or the 3-1. I think it's just because of the lack of experience for the CEC, coming through, obviously they got the experience of playing throughout their childhood up until their teenage years, but, you're coming into your adult years, you start using, different strategies. You start playing a little slower, a little more methodically, it's playing a game of chess, not checkers, right? Being not reactive, but proactive. And I've seen a lot of reactive from CEC, and they need to think ahead, not think after.
Yeah, and this goes back to that hard point, right, where you brought out, hey, they were rotating, they were set up in that position, but once they got that set of kills, right, those initial set, they kind of didn't know what to do after that. They're like, okay, well, where are they spawning? Should we push out? Are we gonna turtle up? Are we gonna make sure we have a tight knit setup? And that's where they were starting to fall apart, and they were being reactive. They didn't have a next step in that playbook, and I think that's the one thing that is holding them back. But you pointed out, this is just the start of a lot of these young players' careers, right? And they're so talented. I expect to see them at plenty more lands, as I think we're about to head on into this map 3. And Chef, I don't want to say it, man, but are we going to get another 3-0? I want to get an extended series. Come on, get us something to get hyped about. I want to see a map 5 round 11, which they have happened in this series, but they've all been off stream. It's kind of been unfortunate.
Yeah, X18 ATK was definitely the hottest game of today, it seems so far. I am both that what we're seeing right now, the NM Boys CEC, they won their last games, both 3-0 each. And going into this one, it might be another 3-0. But Control and Fortress, I don't know if we casted this one yet today or yesterday for Control specifically. So it's interesting to know how this is going to go down for the LAN. Who are you going to be looking at performing very well here for this Control?
I think it's going to be Dahmers and Maddie. The guy has been spectacular all series long, and on the other side, it's Prada. He had a bad map last time that he played it. He's looking for a rebound, and Blur also having kind of a rough map too, right? I think he went 2-9, maybe 3-9. Bad, yeah. So CEC, it's Prada and Blur that you're looking at, and for the side of the NM boys, just keep doing what you're doing because you're winning just off of teamwork alone.
Yeah, and speaking of teamwork, it's off to the defense here. Flondo, I would have liked to seen him push up there because they had the positioning, they had the kills. And looking like they had mid-map control, just leaves just electric back there for that control. But look at Prada, able to sneak past. Dahmers is on the defense, catches that nade. And look how far back CEC has to spawn. Once they're in that back corner, it's just ticking those lives away. They get that lockdown. They're not going to be able to get past this halfway point, and no points will be captured.
Yeah, and this is where you can get put into the blender. And when this happens, you have to take it slow, right? You need to get that information before you just run out and take challenges like Prada just ran out. I don't like that. They're just ego challenting, and that is a clean 4 down, and already the blender has been set. Yeah, Prada 0-3. He needs to find a kill. And, I mean, look at the setup coming in from NM boys. They don't need to do much. They have all the lanes covered, and that's the difficulty with this fortress. Once you go 4 down or even 3 and you don't have a player pushed up, I mean, you're guaranteed just to get bodied on this attacking round.
Well, Prada didn't even catch a body that whole round. NM boys take that one. You know, it's very upsetting getting stuck back there in your spawn. But, you know, that's what you need to strategize for. It's not like, wow, this is the first time this has ever happened. This happens every single time for this map. They always get stuck back there. You can't get through the tunnel. You can't get over stairs. You just strategize. This isn't new. This isn't the first time this happened. Come on, guys.
And I haven't seen a lot of team utility usage, right? They haven't, you know, said, hey, I think this guy's here. Let's double nade him. Let's throw out the stuns. Triple nade him. Whatever. Use everything you have in your disposal to get an edge. And that's just what hasn't been happening for CEC. The trades come through, but look at the NM boys. They have 3 players on. Look at this. They already have a tick gone, and now they're just challenging one by one. Flondo needs to stay alive, but we were talking about how they just need to respawn on the defense, and they've already given up 2 ticks. And Dahmers, he's looking to, you know, get away, but Flondo, he is there to save it. Nexi as well, so they don't let that third one come through. And this is where you need to put them back into the blender and have that rebound. And that's exactly, it looks like what they're doing, but still the kills coming on in for the boys.
Yeah, CEC, Prada just got his first kill of control. He was in a great position, but gets traded out. But look at CEC trying to work up through the halfway point of this map. Start putting that other team in the blender, but not if Stratus and Maddie has anything to say about it. They do get traded out, but look at them sneaking their way over to A. 40 seconds left. B has 2 ticks. If they could take this full A, depending what Prada has to say about it, it ain't much. It looks like they're going to be able to split this one up and not get put in that spawn blender.
And they've been doing a great job just making sure they're attacking slow, right? A lot of players just try to jump on it, and you don't have that advantage, or, you know, potentially get taken down by a few grenades or stuns. You have that information when they're all stacked up. You can get pieced. So far, the NM boys have done a great job of spacing themselves, which I don't think we see very often. There's a difference between spacing and then just going out by yourself one by one. Spacing means you have that opportunity to find a trade and a kill if your teammate goes down, instead of just running out guns a-blazing like we've kind of seen from this young academy squad.
Yeah, good on CEC for giving it right back to what they were getting. And if they weren't able to stop B, I think that NM boys would have won this round. So good on CEC for bouncing back, getting them back into their spawn. You know, the kills, it didn't look like it was going to come down to it too soon. You know, this is how this map is. It comes down to time quite often. I do like seeing Blur, you know, pop off there now 7 and 9, so good on them for that. And back off to the NM boys. We'll see what they can do. Put them back into the blender, and it's really just tick away those kills. Prada sitting at 3 and 8, pretty rough for him, but Stratus very similar, 3 and 7. So in both teams, quite similar on the stat line.
And they need a hot start right here. They just need to get at least 2 ticks on the board, and if you don't, you're gonna be back on the defense. And just the way that first offense went, it's going to be even more difficult. But Blur, great stuff coming out of him. And, trying to do a little bit of a pull-up. And, Nexi, he does happen to scamper away. His teammate was watching over him. And his second tick should come through Blur. He was ready, and, Nexi does get one. But the trades are through. So this should be the first offensive capture coming out in this round 3. And, Electric, he Stop shooting for a second. Blur, he's on 4 in a row. So he's the reason the side of the Academy are so far now in the lead with these ticks. Product pops his dead silence. He needs to find a kill. Dahmers goes down. A big win out of Flondo, who's sitting at 14 and 6. That stat line's gone under the radar just due to the fact that his teammates haven't had much success.
Yeah, it looks like they might have wanted to set up a spawn trap, but Prada is the one sneaking behind. He's going to work here. You're going to see probably all those blue triangles start turning around, being like, wait, what's going on back here? They're capturing it? But no, they're all coming together quite well. Dahmers is the only one going for it. The rest of them are still working that spawn trap. Huge win on Prada here. And to the blender we go.
And number 4, he needs to stay alive. And again, that's Blur. He finds a massive one, goes out. He didn't need to mantle. He finds Dahmers, gets 2. Not able to find the third. So still a small opening for the Academy. And they are just running out. And that was where he was too far ahead of his teammate. He wasn't able to get that kill or at least double chow in Flondo. He's the one who's just has to calm everybody down. Prada 5 and 11 on the other side. Strats, he hasn't really needed to do much. 7 and 9, 4 kills in a row. So quietly having a solid game. And now they're working their way over towards B. And I saw somebody mentioning that they need to get this offense or it's looking dire for CEC.
Yeah, I do like Flondo in a great spot here. Electric, I think, wants this man dead. He's right around that corner. Prada now's in there. That's 2, but here is the competition. That is no longer ticking up. They have to clean them off of here. Someone has to make a move. And Electric is the one to do it. Beautiful 2 feet here. Zeroing out B. Gonna go under a minute now. We're going to lives.
And Blur, he needs to go huge here. At least just be annoying and great trigger discipline. He didn't want to shoot too early and give away his position, but he should allow his teammates to know where they are. Oh, unfortunately, you are stomping around so loud when he was running that trophy, and now you sit. 4 lives down to 10 Electric. You cannot allow that man to get a glide because that could easily secure them, you know, this defense. But already CEC, they're kind of playing this one smart. They're not wanting to give anything away. They're making NM boys potentially overchow. I just don't think they're going to give anything to them. And I think CEC is okay coming away with 3 ticks and having that 1 tick advantage.
Yeah, there we go. Finally, the chow comes through. You know, 17 seconds. They have to make a move. And I loved NM boys' patience. None of them moved a muscle. They're like, hey, we'll sit here all day. We'll let it tick out. You have to come to us. And here we go. Finally, the push comes through. You got 2 men left against 8. Timers ticking. That's it. You're not going to get it done. So NM boys, good job there, getting that win. You know, just playing it with a level head. They weren't like, hey, we got it, let's just push in and, you know, get upsetted, because we've seen 4 take on 12 respawns before on the side of Dax carries. It gets done. And when you're at the LAN, you know, you got that energy, it's going to happen. So definitely slow it down. Let them come to you. If you're on defense, defend. that's your title. Do it.
And man, again, a stat line, we're looking at Prada, 7 and 14, double negative. If you're not getting the kills, just don't be giving up the deaths. Still, it's Blur and Nexi with, you know, 15 and 17 stat line being those submachine guns, or at least Blur being probably the most aggressive AR in this entire LAN tournament. The NM boys, all they need to do is get 1 kill and make sure they don't lose too many lives, and that's 3 members down. Dahmers trying to go massive, and they deny that A tick, and somebody now needs to go on in, and they invested a streak, and maybe it was just to secure that final kill and put them in this blender early. And this is actually looking good for CEC. Yep. And all they need to do is just kill or the rest of this, and they should surely secure themselves this round 5 defense.
Yeah, that was only the 2nd death for CEC this round that we just seen.
Oh,
there. That is another full team wipe. Look at how pushed up CEC is. They are honestly very good at setting up this blender. But, you know, you have to kill them too. And NM boys is playing this slow. Look at triple stacked stairs. The grenades are coming in. The stuns are coming in. Electric just going to shoulder it. Give the information to Maddie so he can come in with full health.
Oh.
But Flondo gets to...
Oh, no!
What?
And Prada got the kill as well!
It's a boxing match out there. And Blur kills Prada as a team. What?
The chef is lost for words. He's like, who is cooking in my kitchen right now? It is clearly the side of the Academy, because this is the deepest blender we have seen so far, I think, in this tournament. So great job for CEC. And number 7, he sneaked out. Electric, can he do it? All he needs is 1 tick. Oh, you do not want to go 3 down. And that's what happens. They need 1 tick, and all he's doing is just sitting in this corner. Electric wins it again, and now that's the first tick coming through. But now you have the stack. You need 1 more final set. They get Stratus down as the last player left alive. He goes down, and that's 1 tick. It's going to come down to lives, and I do think the side of CEC have the advantage 20-4. I mean, they should have the defense just on kills alone because they have the same amount of ticks.
Like I said earlier, you know, it don't matter if it's down to kills. If there's 5 seconds left, you still have to give it your all. Those NM boys had no reason to win that one off of that CEC hold, but they did not play every second of that game. They did come in hotter towards the end of that. Thankfully, CEC got back in the kitchen and started cooking again. But, you know, they were clocking out. They were going home off to the next round. You can't be doing that here. You know, NM boys now, round 5, got the attack. 9-17 for Stratus. So Prada definitely picked it up. Look at him over there, 16-17. Great job from him. You know, putting his team back on top. The team kills are just absolutely nuts here today. But look at how far the NM boys are able to push up. Electric is the man, the route man, getting it done, setting up his team. Looking like they might go a split 2-2.
And I think that was Flano who got caught out with the knife doing his best Michael Myers impersonation. Next, you know, he wins a big gunfight on that A site. And, you know, the NM boys, they had some coverage on both of these sites. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get anything as of yet. Maddie being a nuisance in the background. But yeah, I like how you pointed out Prada. He ended up going 9-3 in that last defensive round. So that's the confidence you like to see. And now he sits at 18-19. A big kill from Maddie as he is chirping out there. He wants to make sure. But Flotto, this guy, I mean, he has been phenomenal. Oh, don't tell me he was going to turn and just absolutely gun Maddie off the map. 27-13. But I like how you pointed out Stratus 10-19. He just has not had this one going his way.
Let's do a little recap just so you know what's at stake here. NM boys is up 2-0 in this series. CEC actually needs to win this one right here, right now to continue it, or they are packed up heading home. And look at that bottom left of your mini map. There is no ticks. There is no one near a site. Nexi could have pushed up a little more. It looks like it's going to be a 4-man push to A. Nexi's able to take 1. Looking for some more now. 7 seconds gets on the hill. Here comes the rest of the team. Electric getting the middle of the map. Prada wants to get up to it, but now it's a 2v1. Still 7 seconds. CEC is up slightly in lives, but look at that 1 tick going to 2 ticks. Are they giving up on this? They have to push up. No way. They're going to lose this to 7 seconds. Now look at Maddie up there on B. CEC completely surrounded now. They have to get out there. There's only 2 players capturing these sites. And a team kill from the score streak.
Oh, this is so difficult. And they still get that point, and now you extend it by a minute. But this is what I was talking about. They just went out and challenged Electric 1 by 1, and they allowed that 3 members down. And they are on this B site. Who has been great? Who has been clutch? It's been Daubers. He's somehow staying alive. But the trades are going back and forth. Stratus, he gets 2, but Flando returns. It's 11-8. And he has to realize somebody's spawning in the back. You spawn inside of that P4. You have to know he's in the back. Flando, a great read right there. But do they know Electric? He has sneaked on by. Oh my goodness, no way that this is gonna happen.
Electric honestly has some of the best routes we've seen today. This guy knows exactly how to get in the enemy lines. Now 30 seconds left. Let's look at the lives here, Graph. We are 9v3. They can still get it done. They do get out of their spawn. 30 seconds, guys. Play it slow. Try and get it done. But NM boys, again, they don't have to get this. CEC has to get this in order to continue. So, you know, NM boys, 20 seconds left. CEC, continue playing every second because NM boys will take this. As you see, they are on the site. There's just 2 left now. 1 left. 1v6. Can NM boys clean this one up? I don't think that he will, but CEC needs to keep playing. There it is. That got a lot closer than it honestly ever needed to be. CEC should have won that one so easily, but they just weren't playing every second, and Electric just the routes this guy does is just next level. He crouch walks right from when he spawns all the way to the other side, pops up, gets the most important kills I've ever seen, gets his team spawned right, gets him in a good position. Electric, good job on you. You know, you guys did lose that one, but you almost came back twice. But CEC is going to continue this series, so Graf, finally, it's not a 3-0 that we're casting.
You know, amen. That's all I'm going to say, is because, my goodness, we finally get an extended series. And I thought for a moment, Chef, straight up, when they got onto that B site, I was concerned. They got onto that Gallows Hill, and I was like, no way that they are going to have a full collapse. And who was their savior? It was literally Flondo. The guy went 33 and 16, double positive. Oh, yeah. You had him popping off on every single moment. And then Prada, he had the bounce back we were looking for, right? Yeah. He started off so slow, but once he got that
zero, literally zero, a whole round.
Oh my goodness, he is. Yeah. Chef, I'm not going that far, but
he was the first round, but he was the complete opposite. He was the star coming out towards the end, complete turnaround. You know, that's what you want to see. You know, when you get down in it, you're just not doing great. Just straight bottom of the trash barrel. I gotta say, man, literally not doing anything for his team. But then he was the star. The whole team was on his back. He was in great positions. Doubles, triples, 5 streaks coming from him. You know, I don't know what clicked in his head to turn it around, if he was seeing where these NM boys were going, playing their strats. So great on him for getting their team back in it. And the rest of the CEC boys really working together, putting the NM into the blender, working their kills in their favor. And that last round, you know, the CEC was falling behind pretty heavy, but they stayed ahead in the kills. And that's really what it came down to. So good on the side of CEC for being that comeback team now. The reverse sweep could happen here.
If you want to get roasted professionally, call the gaming chef right now.
I'm going to say how it is, okay?
That was absolutely insane. Yeah, you know, 1-800-GAMING CHEF. But we are heading to this map 4, and we're going to stay on the El Bagra Fortress. Both of these two teams, they are so equally matched. It feels like the NM boys, though, they just have that edge, but maybe, just maybe that clutch up gives the side of CEC Academy just that momentum, that slight little edge that they need to get themselves into a map 5. And I don't think there's actually been any reverse sweeps in this entire land, not that I've heard of.
Just in S&D.
They are looking to be the first team to do it in the big tournament for the Fort Collins Contender eSports. And I want to give a big shout out to G Fuel, who they do sponsor the venue. They have phenomenal drinks. I know Chef and I have been enjoying it right here, the G Fuel.
Yes, sir.
What flavor is this? You know, this is the limited edition Spider-Man.
Good stuff.
But great stuff, and we want to thank G Fuel again for sponsoring this venue so far. Well, I guess just off of that map 3, relatively close. Do you see CEC, extending it to this map 5?
Well, honestly, from what I've seen for the whole team, and Prada specifically, able to come back from literally nothing to one of the top dogs. That's what CEC needs to do. They got the strats, they got together, and you can't put someone in the blender. You can't spawn trap without teamwork. You need perfect communication. Hey, I'm watching here. Hey, I'm watching here. Looks like they're spawning here. Let's surround there. All right, now let's all go over here. Looks like one of them sneaked out. I got him. The rest of you stay up. It's exactly what happened. And Electric was that guy that got out of the blender, got in behind, spun, just one person around rather than that whole team. And they were being proactive instead of reactive that one. And NM boys, kind of, I feel like we're not working together too well in the end. Electric doing his thing, doing an amazing job, but the rest of NM were like, you know what, we're up 2-0. We'll just keep doing our thing and not go too crazy and try and get it done. But they played every single second, and CEC, they were playing every single second. They're like, all right, we're ahead. Let's start thinking the next round, and they're falling behind. Like, oh, wait, we got to focus right now. But they had that bounce back. They had the mentality to focus on what they were doing. So hopefully they keep that focus up into the next one. It looks like we're going to Fortress again, maybe?
Yeah, no, we're staying on that. Yeah, okay. We're staying on Fortress, going into the hard point. And this is one where Just the way that Flondo played, I expect him to have a great map 4 as well. And I think that's what the side of CEC did, was they shut down the individual plays. Yeah, Electric, he had a few here and there, but where was Maddie? Right? Like we didn't say his name that often, so it was literally the teamwork that was keeping the side of NM boys. So hey, it's not about necessarily having that player pop off, but for CEC, it is. And they needed Flondo to have that 33 and 17 game. You had Nexi kind of pop in here and there. Blur had a 3-piece. But again, it just feels like Flondo and Nexi, they're the two guys that have been really pushing the pace for this team. They need to realize when you find some kills, when to slow down and when to push out the map. And that's going to be the biggest thing. Stop rotating at 40, 45 seconds. And when you do, lock down a hill, for God's sake. I mean, they just did not do it in the Mercado.
Yeah, it looks like the players are ready. So let's go ahead and get this next one started. NM boys up 2-1. Just has to win one of these next 2 rounds. CEC Academy. You know, the younger guns coming in here. Really put on a show on that last one. Really some interesting match. Really close. Could have went either way. You know, gave up a little, came back, put the pressure back on. I like that we finally got ourselves a good one on stream that we were able to cast. But here we go. Back to Fortress now. A hard point, and looking back to that first map, it was 250-179 for NM. Maybe it could come back in the favor of CEC because they did just have this map in their favor. But, the point right here that we're looking at on the screen, this is the strongest point of this map. You could get that full 60 there, so maybe CEC can get that capture because we've seen that they have the positioning knowledge for this map.
And one thing I do want to point out, everybody's been asking, is this a losers finals? No, it's not. It's actually losers round 3. There's going to be another losers after this one. So we will be casting Team Performance versus ATK Gaming. And I believe the Backpackers will be facing whoever wins this one. We'll get the winners finals, and then we'll get the losers and grand finals. So just want to let everybody know that update. But already a great start for the side of the NM boys. They're trying to get a lot of this P1 time, and Maddie, unfortunately, peeks a little bit too far. Nexi gets one. The trades are through. But look at number 4. He needs to stay home. Strash, do not push up past that. And this might actually flip the spawns. And nope, they're keeping it safe. So, and I think he realized, he's like, oh, I think I might have pushed up too far. No, they still had good control of that map. And they're still getting all this P1 time.
That Dahmer's doing a good job on that first point. It's looking like CEC wants to set up that P2, but Stratus is in a great spot to get that one done. There we go. Nexi, a nice double now trying to push through. Blur gonna get his kill, and M-Boys is behind, depending what Electric it gets on here, and it's nothing. Flondo, great look at the setup at the top left of your mini-map here. The NM Boys has quite the uphill battle to get this one in their favor. CEC could see a full 60.
Yeah, and it's I like what they had set up, and now if you're number 7, go in through that bottom P4 and maybe hold on through that lane, and that's exactly what he did. Unfortunately, doesn't win the gunfight. Blur gets taken down, and Strash, they just punch their way right through the front of the hill, but oh, a great double, but Dahmer's is there as well. So immediately the NM boys, they get a clean kill, but they don't secure the spawns, and they're giving it up. They're not going to even contest this last 30 seconds. CEC, what are they doing? It is just, it's baffling at this moment.
Yeah.
And they're still trying to win this rotation. And, I mean, they do end up getting the 2 gunfights. It's going to be Stratus left alone, and they need to win this gunfight. They get it, but boy, that got scary for a second, Chef.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of points like that. They got 18 and then rotated. The NM boys, it's not even called scrap. You're getting half of this hill. CEC has a good lock here. I do like Nexi being behind here. Could sneak in something, but Prada's getting turned around too many directions. Does win the kill, but look at number 3 down there. Maddie now with the back of Electric, and the rest of them are spawning in there. Gets put in though. Blur, beautiful double. Stratus is down there. Blur is snaking, can't get anything done. Gonna take 1, possibly 2, yes, as they clear off this point. 30 seconds left. You know what that means? CEC doesn't care anymore. They're on the next one.
Yeah, and I want to point out how big of a play that was by Stratus. He actually crouched by Blur, and he could have tried to maybe take a few shots at him, but he immediately took the player down off the point, then turned to Blur and took him down, and then that was the last 30 seconds. You have the spawns, and he was the player that individually broke that hill. I don't think CEC setup, it was good. Unfortunately, that player just kind of snuck on by. They find themselves down by 50. And this is the P4. This is a hill. You can lock it down, and Blur gets caught sprinting. Flondo gets gunned, and Dahmers. This is going to be the backside spawn. It's going to, excuse me, secured as Prada. He goes massive, not able to find anymore, and such an easy break for the NM boys. CEC, they're right back to where they started.
Yeah, CEC had the setup. They had the players where they needed to be, but just could not get it done in the gun skill department. NM boys just wiping them out. Electric is the man to break in crazy routes and get it done. But look at the whole side. NM boys is in there. CEC in there as well. This is really just a crapshoot. Whoever ends up at this point, there's just so many entry points that it can't be defended that well. It's going to go half and half, 50-50. But look at the rotations. We got Blur set up already for Maddie to push out of this building. Nexi is there as well. But again, this map, this hill is out in the open. I don't think any streaks are in any pockets, but again, we see CEC ready on the setup, but you know, they're probably gonna lose it again, as we've seen in every single hill so far. They can't keep 30 seconds.
My goodness, Dahmers is on something else right now. He's just not missing almost any of the bullets. Electric, he wants to go out and challenge, but look at this. Such a smart play. He goes back, gets the clip, and he finds two. And this are the types of heads-up play that the NM boys have been doing this entire series. CEC, they are just constantly trying to fight from behind, and they've been giving up so much. Scrap they give up. I mean, it's not even scrap. It's a half a hill, like you were saying, 30, 35 seconds. You just can't keep doing that every single time. And it's so, you know, frustrating to see it, because they had that opportunity to find those windows, and now they're getting outslaved. You can tell the jitters are getting to them. They just don't know when to sit still.
Yeah, they gave that one up by 30 seconds again. No one even touched the hill, and they were standing right next to it. They could have got on there. You're losing by half right now. But look again, CEC has the positioning. They have all their players there to defend, but NM boys will probably once again take it over. CEC even has the spawn. They have the anchor. They have everyone where they need to be, but NM boys is able to pick this one apart.
And maybe it's a, you know, a difficulty in the comms, right? So maybe they're not giving the correct call outs, or somebody's being a little bit too quiet. But the NM boys, they are clear. They have all that information. When they spot a player, they get that shoulder check, and they're like, hey, we know this player is here. Let's find this open lane and try to manipulate it. Unfortunately, CEC, they just haven't been able to do that. I like that they were fighting for a lot of this P1 Flondo. He is a savior. This is going to maybe be one of the biggest game-deciding gunfights, and Maddie will win it when it matters most. Not lighting up the stat line, but he is 12 and 16 Blur. He does have the spawns, but oh, he needs to win one more big gunfight. Dahmers, this is the guy you don't want to be going up against, as he's trying to snake it. Stratus, they put on the Anaconda squeeze, as they will find that kill in the back.
Yeah, in that last hill, CEC pretty much had it the whole time, but they just weren't getting it done. They kind of just moved away from 20 seconds and just left it empty, and NM boys picked up a lot of score on that one, and NM boys full wipe CEC there. And it looks like a lot of players rotating out now. 30 seconds left. Look at how far away Flondo is. Not even in the game anymore, all the way down there. But look at how much hill time is left. Again, 30 seconds. They're leaving on the table. And that 30 seconds could have tied them, and they're just not playing for it. But, you know, this is a very important hill. You know, getting past those tunnels and the stairs, very impossible if you have a good defense. And a full 60 will put them in the lead, so I just need CEC's early rotations, great defense, and setup in good positions to finally pay off, as that has yet to do so.
Yeah, they have yet to lock down a full 60. I mean, even 40. That's the thing is, I need number 7. He needs to stay pushed up and will get himself into a corner, and that might be the back spawn secured, unless if Prada can find it. Electric. Oh, the hell. Wow, Prada won that gunfight. And still the spawns, they're going to be close. And number 5, he has to realize this. He has to get all these players, and oh, they get the reads, and now they're double challenged. So this is what you want to see. Prada, He is starting to tear it up. He gets it 2 kills and no trophy on the hill, or at least it was in the front. So Electric, he has been lighting it up. He is sitting at 18 and 16. Dahmer's 24 and 18. As the knife tries to come out, he's not able to win it in 30 seconds. Again, it goes the way of the NM boys. CEC, they just have not been able to figure themselves out, or potentially it's just the side of the boys being able to light up the kill feed like they have this entire series. It is all light blue. They have the P4 locked down, but oh my goodness, the man was in jail. He unshackled himself. Unfortunately, was only able to take 1 guard down for his troubles.
I love that Electric called in that streak with 30 seconds left. He knew if he wiped them out and his boy won that kill, there's another 30 seconds. CEC is just giving up 30 seconds left and right. Electric is just handing out bullets to faces, just destroying them. This is such a difficult hill to hold down, and NM Boys is getting a lot of time on it. They cannot win it here. It's going to come sure dang close. And CEC, if we know anything about them, they're already rotating in Stratus on a 5 streak. Maddie on the 3. And the stat line across NM Boys, very clean. You know, everyone around 50 seconds. Stratus, almost 2 minutes on the hill. KD's looking very nice for them. And on the side of CEC, you know, KD's are looking good, but look, only 2 players a minute on the hill. And the hill is where they are falling behind. They have everything but that hill time. Blur, Flondo, a lot of red coming in the feed. Again, Graf, they have the setup, they have the defense, they have the players, they have the spawns, but they can't hold it.
Yeah, and that's just been so difficult to watch, right? But that's 3 members down. Are they going to be able to pull off this 100-point comeback? I don't know, and especially on the Blacksmith, and they're not going to read this. Number 1, he spawns in at that top side P3, and maybe he's going to get that info, and no, he's just going to get absolutely picked, and Dahmer's, he finds a freebie, and they're just going to slide on in. This needs to be the biggest kill as Blur takes him down. Wow. He's on 6 in a row, and Stratus, all he needs to do is just kind of peek it, but oh, he actually gets caught out. Can he find a few of these kills? And Stratus almost does it, but now it's just a foot race to the hill, and oh, I don't think the side of Blur needed to challenge, and that is all she wrote. CEC, they are going down. And the NM boys, they have advanced themselves to the losers round 4 to go in and face off against the Backpackers.
Wow, NM boys. Honestly, the theme of Hardpoint for CEC is give them 30 seconds. That's really what it was. And, you know, 10 seconds left at the end is all they needed. And it came down to 30 seconds left on the hill, and CEC doesn't know what to do. They're like, well, we can't give it to them. We're going to lose. But they don't have the strats, it seems, for those final 30 seconds of the hill. They have the first 30 down pat. They have the rotations. They have the anchor. They have the defense. They have the setup. But they just don't have the second half of those hills. And, you know, it just came through. Electric with an amazing kill feed, amazing strats, amazing routes. You know, really on the back of him, Maddie was putting down some amazing plays. Dahmers, doubles, triples, absolute insane AR skill, holding down lines, great defense and offense from him and the rest of the crew of the NM boys. Good on him. Maybe we could get an interview from one of those players.
I would love to get Dahmers in here. The guy was just crying on that map floor. I want to know what it sounded like in the comms. Get some information. We're working on getting this next series coming on up. I think it's going to be Team Performance versus ATK next. That is losers round 4. And so far, the teams that we have left, it is the winners finals. It is the dark horses, right? It's going to be the side of Dax Carries going up against the favored team in the Baby Beavers, who have been 3-1, 3-0. I don't think they've had an extended Map 5 series yet so far this tournament. And the ATK, they had maybe one of the most miraculous comebacks as they took down the most favored seed in this entire tournament, X18. They were down 5-2 in Search and Destroy Map 5. They win 4 straight rounds, and they get it done. Absolutely incredible. As actually, we're going to do the Baby Beavers versus Dak Carries for this next year. So we're going to get the winners finals coming up right after this one. But let's talk about what happened in this series. I mean, we were just kind of roasting the CEC because they have the rotations, right? They had it down,
I wouldn't say
when it came down to just getting any of those holds, it was so difficult for them to do anything with it. And oh, we have our man Dahmers. He is coming on in. Man, it's glad to have you on in. I bet you guys are feeling good, and I know for a fact, you know, in that map 4, you were absolutely frying. How are you guys feeling coming into this series?
Oh, we were so excited. This is the matchup that we've been waiting for a month now, you know.
Okay.
So it's been a long time coming.
Is there any particular reason why?
Yeah, so Cerberus, all love to them. 40, he's the owner, great guy. But the U18ers, you know, they got a little bit of an ego, and they started chirping, went to Twitter, you know. There's some beef, and yeah, we had to turn up.
Hey, I love to see it. You guys definitely turned up. I mean, that map 3, it was so close, but I don't think you guys were sweating it. You're just like, hey, they almost gave us, you know, that victory. That was almost on them. But everything that you did, the search and destroy, the hard points, I mean, what do you think that makes you guys so much better, you know, being able to take these so handedly in comparison to a lot of these other series?
It's just staying humble and knowing that you're not going to win against good teams with just Gunny. You know, you got to have all the smart plays and not just fly around and ego telling everything. Stay composed.
Absolutely, and you had electric, and my goodness, Maddie at points.
Yeah.
We were talking about, you guys actually got outslayed in that map 1, surprisingly, by I think it was about 6 or 7 kills. But when it mattered, it was Maddie. It was electric. They would find these kills at that 35 seconds of the hill, and they would just literally take over the entire map.
Yeah, it was unbelievable when I looked at the scoreboard and I saw I went more than double neg, and we still won by about 80 points. Like, it was crazy, and you know, I had a little first game jitters, first match of the day, and I had to turn up the rest of the maps.
Yeah, coming out of the losers bracket now, you know, working your way up. You got Backpackers up next. Talk to us about what your team is going to be doing, what you're going to be, you know, possibly changing, if anyone's positions are going to be changed. What are you doing to prepare yourself for this huge match coming up?
You know, we're just going to stay locked in. Been watching so much VOD these last couple of days, you know, on the TV and the Airbnb.
Okay.
So we've been studying. Yeah, we're just going to stay locked in and stay focused.
Hey, I love to see it, and I appreciate you coming on in for the post-game interview. And hey, good luck on the rest of the tournament. I mean, I'm not sure if we're going to be casting, but we hope we get to, because it's going to be a good one. And
Definitely.
I know you guys are going to be ready to play when it comes down to it.
I see my mom in the chat over there, so hi, Mom.
Yes, sir. There you go.
And if there's anybody you want to shout out to, you know, your mom and friends, family watching, is there anything you want to let the rest of the teams know, that, you know, who are, you know, still competing in this? Anything you want to say to the fans and other teams?
You know, we've always been the underdogs. We've always been counted out, and now's our time to fry and show what we're about.
All right, and I love the energy. I hear you guys on the other side of the wall. Keep that energy up. You keep our energy up by doing that. And, you know, they hear it. They're getting scared sometimes, but, you know, they still put up a great fight, you know, put you to round 4. So good on you for taking them out of the competition. And now Backpackers come next. So good luck, man. We'll definitely be watching.
Having us.
Yeah.